everyone, let's get started with our science lesson. So I set you a bit of a challenge on Friday, a bit of an experiment, and that was to test what would happen to the petals on the flower if we put them in different coloured water. Okay, and I've had lots and lots of brilliant experiments sent in that I'm going to show you in a second. But here we've been doing it in school as well. Look, we've got our celery that is sucking up the colour. Hopefully you can see that in the bottom there. So I'm hoping that you've got something similar at home as well, and they're starting to change colour, fingers crossed. So this was my investigation that I wrote up, and I know some of you had a go at talking through this at home, and I've had some great videos from it, and some of you have also had a go at writing it up as well, which is absolutely fine. So the investigation title was, when I change the colour of the water, what will happen to the colour of the petals? So hopefully you had 3 different colours of water using food dye or paint, and then we were looking at what would happen to the petals on the flower. And we were trying to find out, when we were trying to look and see if the petals would change colour in the different cups. And hopefully you kept some things the same, because we said about it being a fair experiment. So we were making sure that the container that we were using was the same. So for example, here, look, I've got 2 of the same plastic cups. The place where we position them needs to be the same, the amount of water in each cup, and the materials that we are using. So for example, if we are using celery, then we'd use celery in each 3 cups. Or if we're using flowers, we'd use it in each 3 cups. So here is my fabulous diagram, which we had a little look at, and I drew my flowers in the different dyes. Some of you had a go at doing it with tissue as well, which is absolutely fine, because remember, as long as it was something that was sucking up and absorbing that coloured water, it didn't matter what you were using at home. And at the bottom, I also made a little prediction as to what I thought was going to happen based on the results of this experiment. So I predicted that the petals on the flowers were going to change to the colour of the water that they were in. So for example, if I had a white flower in some red food dye, then the petals would change to the colour red. The same with celery. If I had some celery in the red food dye, then that celery would change red. So here I've got some pictures of some work that's been sent in for me that was just too lovely to share. And behind that smiley face is actually an even bigger smiley face. And this young person, you know who you are, has had a go at getting some tissue and rolling that up and dipping it in the dye to see what happens to that plant, okay? So to see what happens to the tissue paper. And this person had a go at doing some orange food dye and some yellow food dye. And as you can see from this picture here, the food dye has been sucked up by the tissue paper and it has changed colour, okay? I also had some fabulous written works sent in to me. And this was a write-up of the experiment. So here you can see the design and the equipment that they will need, and also the title of the investigation. So lots of fabulous work. And this person found some white flowers, which is very lucky. So I know Mrs. Davies struggled trying to find some. So this person got some white flowers and popped them in 3 of the same cups. And as you can see, look, this person has also positioned them in the same place in the house. They look like they're on a windowsill. So hopefully you've got yours at hand now to have a little look at. So hopefully you have found that quite a few changes have happened to your flowers or your celery or your tissue as you were doing it. And I've put some pictures up here on the screen for you to have a little look at. So the first one that we can see was the celery. And this celery, as you should be able to notice from the leaves at the top, have all changed colour. So the blue liquid has seeped up and been sucked up and has started to change the celery to blue. And then in the middle, we've got the white flowers as well, and they have also changed colour. So I'm hoping you've got some pictures today of what yours look like at home, because I bet on the first day you were looking at it and you were thinking, oh, it's not sucking up too much colour. But then that's why I said to leave it over the weekend, give it a few days, because then it starts to suck up more and more, and that's when you'll start to see these changes. So looking back to what we did last week then, let's have a think about what your predictions were. So just pause the video now and spend a minute just thinking about what was your prediction. So my prediction was that I predicted that the petals would change colour to the colour of the water that they are in. And was your prediction correct? Because mine definitely was. So I made a good prediction. And I just want us to have a little think about why that happens. So let's have a look about what the function of the stem is. Can anyone remember the stem, which I'm going to point out here on my flower? Okay, what did we say the stem does on a plant? What was its function? Hopefully you said that one of the functions was to hold the flower upright, but also the cells in the stem are really, really small. And what they do is they suck up the water, okay? They absorb all the water. Therefore, if the water is a different colour, so if it is red or if it is blue, then the plants are still going to suck that up, and that is going to change the colour that the plant is. Okay, particularly if you've used white, you'll see that quite strong and that colour will come through. If you've used other colours, or even if you've used celery, then that will happen as well, because the cells are so small, they will all absorb that colour and you'll be able to see them in the plant. So if we have a think then about rounding off our experiment, which I hope you've all really enjoyed doing at home, we need to think about what we have found out then from doing this. So I want to have a little think. What have you found out? So I have found out, So I can say that I have found out that the stem sucks up the water no matter what colour it is. So I have found out that the stem sucks up the water no matter what colour it is. I've also found out that the petals change colour depending on the colour of the liquid. So I have found out that the petals change colour depending on the coloured liquid. I'm also going to say that I have found out that the stem on the plant has a very important job. I think you'll all agree, because if it doesn't suck up all the water, then it won't have anything to act as food to help the plant grow. Okay, so I'm going to say I have found out that the stem is a very important part in helping the plant to stay alive and to grow. Okay, so let me just check and make sure that I've written down all the results that I've found from doing our experiment. So I've said that I found out that the stem sucks up the water no matter what colour it is, because in my investigation, all the celery turned different colours, so it didn't really matter which colour it was just going to change to that colour that it was in. I found out that the petals change colour depending on the coloured liquid. I might not just put petals there, so I might put petals / plant, because I've got celery as well, so you might have found celery at home changes colour. And then I have found out that the stem has a very important part in helping the plant to stay alive and grow. So hopefully you found out lots and lots about plants and how they work and how they grow from doing this experiment at home. You can either have a little go at writing this up on the results sheet that I popped on the school website, or if you just want a little discussion about what you've learnt at home with your parents, that's okay as well. You don't need to record anything down if you don't want to. But make sure you talk about what you've learnt from doing this. And don't forget to send me a picture across of how your flowers or how your celery has developed, because I'd love to see the changes from the beginning to the end. I will see you tomorrow where we start a different topic. I wonder what it will be. Bye.